All right, greetings from Heathrow. We're done with London. On to the next place, and I just found out about the next Brandon Aiyuk controversy. Apparently, he posted a screenshot of some Washington Commanders practice tape with Jaden Daniels on TikTok. I think this reflects worse on Jaden Daniels than Brandon Aiyuk, because we're assuming that Brandon Aiyuk got this tape from Jaden, his friend back from ASU, who he's been hanging out a lot with this offseason. And that's the case. Well, you can't just be giving tape, even screenshots of it, to players on other teams. So that's, to me, something that the Commanders are probably going to talk to Jaden Daniels about. You can hope that the opposite wasn't also true. You can hope that Brandon Aiyuk hadn't been given any 49ers tape, or at least 49ers practice tape screenshots to Jaden Daniels. Although Aiyuk wasn't at OTAs and veteran minicamp, so there might not be any tape to give from this season. So Aiyuk's options moving forward remain unchanged. He can obviously hold out just like Deebo Samuel did, just like Nick Bosa did out of training camp. But it is interesting that the Aiyuk Daily account, which is connected to Brandon Aiyuk, posted the other day that he has been back working out at the team facility every single day for the past 2 weeks. So it seems to me that the meeting that Aiyuk had with the 49ers a couple weeks ago might have gone decently well, just as the reports indicated. And, you know, there's been at least a slight thawing of the relations here with Brandon Aiyuk back in the facility on a daily basis. So he might take the second option that's very much in play, and that is to show up to training camp, but to hold in. That means be at the facility, but don't practice, and that would be the option that arises from both parties negotiating again in good faith, or at least having committed to a good faith negotiation. You're both on the same page as far as the final desired destination, and that is inking a long-term contract to keep Brandon Aiyuk with the 49ers and give the 49ers more cap flexibility. And if you're both on that same page as far as the end goal goes, well, then you can proceed through negotiations. Even if you're far apart at the moment, you could proceed through negotiations with trust in the other party to ultimately reach a rational conclusion. And those conditions, in my opinion, would make a hold-in possible. Those are Aiyuk's really only two options, and those are only short-term options. In the long term, the 49ers obviously still hold the cards here. If he wants to earn that greater financial security this offseason, he's going to have to sign that contract before the season starts, and he's going to have to start playing, because that is what he is contracted to do for the 49ers. Everything else is drama. All right, it's early July. I think that people actually like this time of the year as a respite from football season before it gets crazy. We've taken the respite here in Europe. First, we saw Team England win that Euro game. That was a huge win over Switzerland with the penalty kicks. But then we went to Wimbledon here in London, the mecca of tennis, the cathedral of the sport, the most famous grass in the world. We had typical London weather. It was sunny, then it was rainy, and you saw all the ball boys at Wimbledon and all the grounds crew have to scurry around to protect that most famous grass in the world. That was fascinating to watch, but just the sheer amount of tennis in one spot, along with the very good drinks, the Pimm's cups and the strawberries and cream to eat. We followed all the traditions and had a good time at Wimbledon, had a great time in London. Sunday roast is what they do for dinner, only on Sundays. It's aptly named. And, you know, they say the British don't have great food, but if you eat the right things, then you will eat well in London. Next place we're going to eat even better. And maybe Brandon Aiyuk will give us a little bit of a break from having to update about his TikTok at this next spot. But hey, if he doesn't give us a break, then it'll be a cool spot for another 49ers update here in the middle of the dead period.